what is it going to take for CJ Stroud to be a franchise quarterback? I've seen people jumping to the conclusion that CJ Stroud already is a franchise quarterback, which, like, I can understand it because whenever you draft a quarterback number 2, like, you're certainly committed to making him a franchise quarterback. You're hoping that he becomes a franchise quarterback. You've spent a lot of draft capital on a quarterback. You would hope that he becomes that franchise QB. I don't think that's something that is earned, Blankers, though, when you're drafted. I think you have to go out and produce and show that you are a franchise quarterback.
Isn't it kind of semantics, right? It's one versus the other. It's like you can be anointed the job in principle.
I think it's relative. I think it's a relative term.
Yeah. I mean, if you're drafted in a certain spot in the draft, the idea is you're going to be the starting quarterback. So on paper, you're the starting quarterback. But if you play like dog snot, you're not going to be the starting quarterback for long. And obviously it goes back to the conversation about any GM that drafted you is going to give you every opportunity to continue to be put out there to try and prove him right, that the Sam Darnolds and the Baker Mayfields of the world, they're going to get every 16 more opportunities than they deserve because guys want to prove that they should have been taken where they were taken, and they're going to keep throwing you out there. But, yeah, you got to earn it. And I think that in C.J. Stroud's case, we know based on where he was taken, whether you want to believe he was part of the reason why the trade was made or not, you know that they got a guy that high in the draft. He damn well better be considered your franchise quarterback for the next 5 to 7 years. So he's now got to go out and he's got to earn that. Maybe it doesn't happen short term. And we know that the track record says rookie quarterbacks don't excel and don't, blow everybody away. But over time, we better see progress, and we better see progress quickly so that in the next year or so we understand this dude gets it. He's going to be the guy. He looks good.
Here was Stroud yesterday at OTA day 1. I guess it was day 2, but first day that they were talking to the media, which big deal, huge news over at NRG, CJ Stroud talking to the media. We were talking about this a little bit last segment, too, about, he's taking some reps with number 2. CJ Stroud says he doesn't care.
For me, I'm just trying to get better. It's not about being with the 1s, it's not about being with the 2s, it's just about getting better. This is what the spring is for, just learning the plays, getting the timing down, learning my receivers, learning Woods, learning Tank, learn how Nico runs his route, learn how Johnny runs his routes, how Dalton, just anybody I can learn from, and that's what I've been on. It's not about 1s and 2s right now. It's about just getting better as a whole, so we're getting ready for training camp. So that's been a blessing.
Really enlightening stuff from CJ Stroud yesterday. Really a good, brilliant mind.
I like it, though. I mean,
that?
I like the fact that, this coming on the heels of Roethlisberger, who said, I didn't want the Kenny Pickett to succeed. And all the guys we've seen that as a veteran, when you have a young quarterback come in, you don't want anything to do with them, and your ego takes a hit and you don't like it. And from this flip side, you get a lot of rookies that come in at quarterback because of all the pomp and circumstances. They're cocky. They believe that they deserve to be there. They already are going to be a stud and they're going to succeed no matter what. And the comments that I've heard from him in listening to the majority of the comments he made, I like the fact that he's humble. I like the fact that he's not afraid to learn, that he's understanding that, he's trying to get his feet wet and get kind of reps underneath him. And I like what I hear from him so far.
Here's the question that I want to ask. As far as hearing from C.J. Stroud, I don't know if I don't really care what's said at a press conference, if I'm being completely honest with you. Like, we sit there and critique, like,
but
the
you know
press
what I'm saying, right?
I do, but, like,
I don't want a guy that comes in and goes, yeah, whatever. I mean, this is just, a mini camp. And not that, like, some Cam Newton when he used to really get cocky. Rodgers has been known to do it too. But I mean, if he turns out to be Cam and Rodgers, cool. Like, that's why I'm trying. Like, but I'm saying, even from the make is I don't care about what they're saying on the podium. But when they were first drafted, I'm sure their first press conferences, there's plenty of guys that had a little extra confidence in everything that they said, like almost like flippantly, like this is gonna be easy.
Yeah. Listening to the 12 minutes of C.J. Stroud, I don't know if I was, like, overly impressed with C.J. Stroud. But the question, and like, again, I don't really care. Like, D'Amico Ryans is impressive to me because he doesn't give you, like, the fluff. He doesn't give you, like, he'll give you coach speak, like the Jadeveon Clowney answer. Oh, we're not going to close the book on anybody. He'll give you coach speak, but he doesn't waste everybody's time, like, talking, out of both sides or, like, filibustering. He's to the point. He's direct. That's what I want as a head coach. It doesn't make him a good head coach. It doesn't make him a bad head coach. It just means he handles himself at a press conference decently. The question that I want to ask, though, is, like, what does CJ Stroud have to do to be a franchise quarterback in this league? Because you're right, it is a relative term. Whenever you draft a quarterback too, you are handing the keys to that quarterback to hopefully be that franchise QB. But I think it has to be earned. 9656 on the HRP listener line says, make it to 2 conference championships within 7 years of being in the league. I think that's way too brash. Like 2 conference championships within 7 years in the league. We won't be talking about CJ Stroud as a franchise quarterback. We'll be talking about him as a guy that can win a Super Bowl for the first time in the city of Houston. I think that's too lofty. I think for him to be like crowned a franchise quarterback in the NFL, in this league, I think we got to look at him as having the potential, not even to like be there already. I think we have to look at him like after a year, maybe after 2 years, where we look at CJ Stroud and say, this guy could be a top 10 quarterback. We believe this guy has a shot to one day lead us to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think that what I said about Davis Mills starts the conversation, but as it relates to his first year. Just show you can move the team. You can score points. You're starting to pick up the offense. You know, you have flashes where we see throws or decisions where you go, okay, that's why we drafted you where we drafted you. And then as it progresses, you know, you start taking this team on your shoulders in a leadership role and taking them towards a division title, making progress in the win column, showing everybody that you're not making dumb mistakes, turning the ball over. And again, I go back to what we said this a year ago when we were trying to set the table for Davis Mills, but on a grander scale, you're not the reason why the game was lost, and you made enough plays to where they had a chance to win. Those are the kind of things in the first year or two you really want to see out of CJ Stroud.